my lunch money.
You haven't been flossing. You haven't been flossing.
Get a job.
Escape to a world of color for each and every Game Boy game. Do Game Boy Color.
Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will be restoring the Nintendo Game Boy Color and Pokémon Pinball. These handheld classics were given to me by the amazing Mrs. Super Pixel Master. As my lovely wife was going through some of her old things, she stumbled upon a part of her youth, which I can say is now part of our retro future. I never had a Game Boy Color growing up, so this would be my first, and I'm glad she found it so now I can share them with all of you. I also never played Pokémon Pinball, or at least to my knowledge, one with a rumble pack. Now let's get down to business. We will start by testing it out and adding some batteries to see what we are working with. And nothing. Surprising considering these look like they're in good shape. Let's try giving it a quick clean with our homemade cleaner tool. Link on the top right if you are interested in how to make one. And we'll try again. Nada. Okay, let's give the game a good clean and see if that does anything. First, let's remove the battery. Remove the 2 security screws. Carefully open up the game cartridge with the roll pack built in. This little motor here must be the rumble feature. You have to love Nintendo, always thinking outside the box. Let's gently remove the motor as the wires are very tiny and lovingly remove the boards to set aside. The game is not incredibly dirty, so a good clean with some isopropyl alcohol should do the trick. Alternatively, you can give the outer shell a soapy water bath if needed. Careful around the label as we want to keep it dry. Let's give it a quick wipe down with a cloth and repeat on the back cover as well. Now onto the game board. Again, careful around these wires as we do not want to damage them. Let's clean the back of the board and wipe any dirt with a Q-tip. While we have full access to the game contacts, let's give the cleaner tool another try. Wet side first with isopropyl alcohol, then buff with the dry side. Now with all the components clean, let's put it all back together. Game board and rumble motor first, then the top shell, carefully not to pinch those wires underneath, and then 2 security screws and, oops, forgot the battery cover, so let's clean that real quick. Alright, let's try one more time to see if that did it. And still niente. That's okay. We're going to tear down the Game Boy anyway, so let's do that now. It looks in decent shape and does not really seem to need a teardown, but we will do one anyway, you know, for science and YouTube. Before we begin, we will remove the batteries. Remove the 6 screws from the back. These are tri-slot screws. If you know the proper name, let me know in the comments below. As it seems, I do not have the right bit for the Game Boy. I'll do what any impatient video game enthusiast will do. I'll find the flathead bit that will fit and carefully remove them while trying not to strip them. Now that we have them all out safely, let's put these aside and also try not to lose any. The board seems like it's in perfect shape. These 3 screws are Phillips head, which I do have the bit for. Careful when opening these Game Boys. The screen cable, like any small electronic, are very delicate. Opening them like a clamshell preserves the cable's integrity. Remove the button pads and plastic buttons. Don't worry about how they are situated, they can only be replaced in one way. We're going to clean each button pad with a Q-tip and some isopropyl alcohol. With a toothbrush this time, we will clean the harder plastic buttons. Most of the dirt and grime will be found where the hand meets the game, like the buttons, the grooves, and between the front and back shell. Ah, ready for some pinball mashing. Now with the volume control, douse the entire wheel in alcohol and turn it back and forth. Do the same thing with the power button and slide it back and forth. When satisfied that they move freely, let's blow away any remaining moisture with an air can. Now again, with the toothbrush and alcohol, clean the audio jacks, power jack, and internal game board contacts. Try not to use a Q-tip here because getting lint inside this area would not be ideal. Blow away any moisture left over and let's start on the outer shell. Let's clean and wipe down each side of the Game Boy shell. The battery bay looks like it's in good shape. When batteries are left in for years on end, they sometimes leak and can cause a cleaning nightmare. And now, let's clean the battery cover in its proper order this time. Noticing I misplaced the power button, I'll just crawl around the floor for a few minutes looking for it, and after finding it, we can move on. Careful with the front shell as we still have the game board attached. We will focus in on the groove like I mentioned earlier. Now that all the cleaning is done, let's put everything back together. The buttons first, followed by the button pads, the game board and the power button slider. Screw the game board back onto the case. Screw in the 6 tri-slot screws carefully as not to strip them. Let's add a couple batteries and the battery cover. Let's enjoy the fruits of our labor, as they say. Okay, here we are. And yes, it works. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. Up. Let's try again. And nope. Maybe we just need to reinsert the cartridge. All right, one more time. Yes, I knew it would work. Ah, the Game Boy Color. Man, kids these days have no idea the struggle trying to find the right light and angle. Brings back memories. The rumble feature is pretty cool. Nintendo always is ahead of its time, always innovating and trend-setting. Alright, there's one last step which I like to do. We're going to hit it with a little automotive plastic and vinyl trim restorer. This protects your games and consoles from drying, aging, and future fading, while making them look brand new. Make sure if you do use it, buff out any shiny areas afterwards with a microfiber cloth. Wow, look at that. Beautiful, aren't they? And now to set up some glamour shots for the Instagram, and there you have it. Fully restored Nintendo Game Boy Color with Pokémon Pinball. And as a special treat for all you who are still here, enjoy this pretty sweet rendition of the opening theme of Pokemon Red and Blue, played by yours truly. Be sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos. This is Super Pixel Master, and until next time, game on.